You guys may or may not know, my wife is diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, which at the time is very concerning to us. It still is, and something that we're currently still battling with. In November 2022, I sign a deal, which then takes me about 8 months later to recognize that I have absolutely no operational say in this business. There was an exchange of some money that I gave all to Joni, and that money was used to pay some of our taxes, and we bought a couple of properties to take care of our friends and family. Started creating a lot of issues for me. We used to be on, and I was a part of operational calls for the business, and at some point I'm advised to not speak on the calls because I'm, basically making noise and not really aligned with what the business is, while the false narrative is painted that I'm not trying to be a part of the brand, help the brand, or be anything positive for the brand. October 8th, 2024, I signed paperwork to walk away for $0 in exchange for my freedom so I could be able to provide for my family with no restrictions. That sales tax debt not only seized all of the money in my personal bank account, it did for Joni as well, even though both of us have not been with the brand for years. It is not how I built my brand. It is not how I conduct business. And it is not something that I want to run away from. I probably signed one of the worst deals in history, but it's only a bad deal because the people on the other side never felt doing it the right way. From even now, I have to do the right thing. I'm going to do the right thing. And I'm hopeful that if I could get in there and I could try to correct it, that I might be able to salvage something. But a man of my word I am, and a man, and these are words I guarantee. Even if I don't see how I'm going to do it, I am going to do this. It's been an extremely difficult 3 years as my wife has been fighting for her life. Stage 4 colon cancer, watching her see every dollar that we had just gone because people felt like not communicating or doing the right thing, not only for us, but for the brand. I understand that even when I ran it, some things slipped through the cracks, but each and every one of you know that have paid attention to me as a person, that I've always stood up, doing the right thing, even when it was the wrong thing for the brand. This is no different.
Sneaker News, UN, Urban Necessities, my favorite sneaker store ever.
You rich? I know you've been in there. I know you've been to Vegas and went in there.
I did go there. I met.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, you met.
So this is 2021. No, well, okay. This is allegedly. No. They actually did a little more research into the story. Jayce ain't part of this scam. It's Sneaker Surgeon. Sneaker Surgeon bought them. They got bought out and they have new ownership. So yeah, they got bought out. Jayce got kicked out of the thing.
No wonder I ain't been hearing his name associated with this.
Yeah, he ain't doing this shit no more. Nah, he got out. Now, number one, I already know they were bitching about people, the consignment people were bitching about not getting paid anyway. But Jayce just got out.
So the shoe surgeon owns them now.
Yeah.
And he just got in trouble recently. Wasn't Nike suing him?
Sneaker Surgeon?
Yeah. Shoe shirt, whatever. He can't get right. Damn, he fucking up.
Let me actually, there's a full story on this. I will pull up the full story because I saw it on some Instagram post. So some guy was telling the whole
Have any of y'all, I mean, I know not there, of course. Have any of y'all ever sold shoes on consignment before?
No.
Yeah, me neither. I want my shit on my own.
All I know is that Urban Necessities is tax and...
Hell yeah. Just to pay for the rent alone in that place.
They're just looking at these Mocha ones, fucking $535.
And that being one of the most fake shoes of all time. What?
Concords for $8.
Concord what?
11s.
Get the fuck out of here. Concord 11, maybe you'd be hard pressed trying to get a pair for $80.
Bro, they got the four breads 2019 for $685. That's crazy.
They better come with jersey and some store credit.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever money they holding with it. $685 is nuts. Now I know Bread 4 2019s was in like the fours for a good pair, 4-something, 450.
Yeah, they still
Sticks
sitting around there.
700. Please, you might as well. It's what they came out 2019. You might as well wait another year or two for them because they're gonna do a proper retro of those after the Bread reimagines. Might as well wait, bro.
It's crazy. So, Urban says they failing applications to not paying consigners, users on the social media company responding to email. Some of the claims have been witnessed. Okay, so Urban Necessities, the company was founded by Jaysee Lopez, who built the brand after experiencing homelessness, and over time, Jay stepped back from day-to-day operations, and the shoe surgeon, a renowned sneaker customizer, became partial owner. Allegations to the unpaid consignments. So this is where they go to the consignment stuff. So Jayce has not been part of the whole operation. He might be still an owner, not 100% sure, but it looks like whoever's doing the day-to-day operations is just fucking up the consignment payments and that model of business. Because even think about this, I got 600 shoes, right? I'm having trouble selling them. Like if I didn't have bread to cover myself and I needed this money to pay my mortgage, let's say, right? I'd be so deep in the hole right now. Imagine if you're doing this and still holding a bunch of shitty shoes that you can't sell. Because you remember, these places were built off of Yeezys, Jordan 1s.
Panda Dunks.
Yeah, Panda Dunks. Selling like shitty like shoes. So if you're making high margin off of a $100 shoe, that's great. Or back when Yeezys was like going crazy for Yeezys. When I went to Vegas out there and went to Jaycee's store, the line was out the door. People just going in there having fun, buying shit like overpriced. So you go on StockX and see it for $100 less, but people still buying it from him, which is crazy.
But it's for they're buying because of the name. Because I mean, I did the same thing when I went to Flight Club in New York. I think I got the Legend 11s or something. I paid like $450 for them just because I was at Flight Club.
You get caught in that moment when you're right there.
You keep the Flight Club tag on it.
And you know they got it all saran wrapped and all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's like, I'm living a YouTube video.
I was about to say, got you feeling like you with Joe LaPuma.
Yeah.
Oh, see what you're feeling, what you're not, and hopefully we're gonna buy something today.
Yeah, we're gonna buy something. So, didn't Jake Paul just drop like 68 grand up it, or some? I saw somebody just drop 60 grand on.
The most recent guest, man, I didn't even know who the fuck that was. I'm like,
Jake Paul, he dropped 60
It was some dude like named Talil or some shit. I'm like,
Talil, the streamer.
Who the fuck is he?
He's a streamer.
Oh, I'm gonna say I know who Speed and Sonata is. I'm like, who the fuck is Talil?
He's a big Bron fan. So anyway, so Urban Necessities is scamming. So yeah, anybody, look, if you're working with them, I suggest you go get your shoes.
Yeah, I saw that.
You can, because you're never gonna see that shit. You're never gonna see them shits again, bro. They ain't even keeping receipts anymore.
Shoe surgeon probably need this money to pay his legal fees.
That Nike lawsuit, broski.
Yeah, man, he should have settled.
How the fuck? Yo, breaking news. As part of the podcast, we just finished recording, but we just saw this pop in. Soul Retriever, shout out to you. All over there. We talked about Sneaker Surgeon today, scamming people via Urban Necessities. And now they settled on the lawsuit. Did you get to read through this yet in the trademark lawsuit?
I gave it a quick skim. They agreed to, like a lot of other instances with Nike suing these customizers, settle out of court for undisclosed amount. I think Soul Retriever mentioned a specific dollar amount. I don't know if that's what he caused Nike in damages or that's what they're allegedly agreeing to. But it's giving Warren Lotus, it's giving Cool Kai, it's giving that type of vibe. But I just found it just stunning because we were just talking about his connection with Urban Necessities and maybe he was keeping consignment money to handle this situation. And I don't know, the timing is eerie.
Yeah. This like makes me feel like, I don't know. See, I don't know much about the shoe surgeon guy, but is he a culture vulture? That's like one of these. I don't know, man. It seems like he's really like, look, from this thing to the Urban Necessities thing, right? Is he just kind of like, look, he's an artist too, right? So he's making all these shoes and shit, which is cool. I respect the art, but are you a culture vulture? Like, are you taking
the shoe surgeon? I think it was a little more surprising to me as far as all of these customizers who are being called culture vultures, I thought he was like, to be fair, the least of them, because
Really?
celebrities would commission him. He even had a school, like he had a program where he was getting lasts and showing people how to craft customs with luxury materials. He had deals with big time companies. They would use his work for custom projects and giveaways. And he had a relationship with Nike where they were like, not, I wouldn't say sponsoring him, but he'd do a project and Nike would give it the thumbs up, or they'd be involved in some way. So when it was revealed that, oh, he was getting sued by Nike, I'm like, what? And I think he's a legitimate part of the culture, man. At one point, Shoe Surgeon was like a god among customizers. I always thought his stuff wasn't for me. Some of it fringed on the lines of tacky, even. Everything had Python, everything was, hey, let's take a Jordan 1, but cut up a Louis Vuitton bag and use that instead. Or, hey, let's use Dior or monogram print. But he inspired a lot of people. And like I said, a lot of people, I know a few people personally who attended his class and stuff like that. I thought the man was, good money into the lawsuit. And I had no idea he had a stake with Urban Necessities. And right now, that's not a good thing to have. So he might have some merits. He a vulture of some sort, whether it be culture or currency, but he doing something, Fugazi. Shout out. And man, shout out Shoe Surgeon, man, for taking people money. No, let me stop.
Well, we'll see how this goes, man. This is crazy. So he's gonna be broke. I mean, they came to a settlement, but I can see why he's like, he bought into Urban Necessity. He needs to get that money. It's a big pyramid scheme.
It looked like he just made a lot of wrong decisions between getting on Nike's bad side and then all this stuff.
Yeah,
a lot of people got pandemic brain, and by that I mean they live through the guise of 2020. They look at 2020 numbers. That's what fucked up John Donahoe at Nike. He made a business model based off pandemic metrics, knowing that it couldn't possibly sustain because one day the world was going to open up again.
I think everybody did that though. Like, why would, but especially with like, it's weird how like industries like sneakers and such took off like they did, because everybody got a check from the government, right? And they bought it on shit that they can't wear till later, or at least with sneakers, right?
Right.
So, and people bought cars, like people bought like overpriced cars and all this other crap. So now people are stuck with bad cars, a lot of debt, and a bunch of shit they probably don't need.
And I don't know how balloons work. Eventually, balloons pop. Yeah,
it always. I mean, that's just the way it is. But I feel like, it's 5 years later. And I don't know when it's gonna actually hit, because, I'm feeling it. That's why I'm getting rid of it. And look, Tony D2 Wild's feeling it, right? All these brothers look, Jayce, he got out of this Urban Necessity shit. They opened up a store in Dubai, like 2 years ago? I don't know how that's doing. That shit. You ever see that store? It's crazy. It looks like
I've seen like little viral clips of it, yeah.
But it's a reselling business. You guys are making, number one, you're paying a premium. You're not paying, what is it called? Not retail, market. Yeah.
Wholesale.
Market price. Wholesale.
Yeah.
Yes. You're not paying wholesale. You're paying full price, if not more, for a shoe, and then upping the price by 30 to 50% or more, or maybe 100% markup sometimes, or more, depending. What it is.
They priced themselves out because more of these grassroots, smaller industries, like I take for example the store in LA, Syndicate. They are really community driven, and they diversify their revenue stream by having like their own branded merch and different events, and they're in the Labubu's and all these other collectibles. So
social
Urban
media
Necessities, they do that in a sense, but like you said, they don't get it wholesale. They're less community focused. They want to attract the people that's traveling and want to see the spectacle,
or the premium customer too. You ever seen their inventory?
Yeah, like it's,
all those Fat Joe shoes, all that shit.
Some of that stuff is not sustainable, whether we were in the pandemic or not, because
who actually wants it?
Who wants that shit? Yeah,
like I don't want a bunch of Air Force Ones that Fat Joe and Mayer wore. You know what I mean?
And that's why a lot of these other stores survive better, because they can buy stuff, make connections, sell some used things at a price that is competitive with StockX or other resale shops,
Mm-hmm.
and live within their means. They didn't buy this big ass rental space in Vegas or Dubai. You know what I'm saying? Like, they put themselves in a hole because they thought sneakers was always gonna be what it was then.
It's not.
And even if they didn't expect to take this much of a hit, you should have known whether it was going to take a hit because of market or because of chasing trends.
Mm-hmm.
The foresight wasn't there. Like, they lived in the bubble and they didn't get out of it.
Yeah, that's I mean, me personally, remember I was doing all the reselling. I stopped thinking about that and I said I'm just going to collect my shoes that I want now. And that was like, that took me until 2022 to figure out. And a lot of these cats still do it. And it's weird because there's resellers now that are just social media people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like Cool Kicks. That guy's name's Rami. You gotta know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know you're talking
Rami.
about.
Okay, now because I remember last time I brought him. You're like, who's like Rami? He does like all the people just go in there to sell like a bunch of bullshit shoes. He buys them and then they make a ton of money off of YouTube. That kid's like got the sickest following on like Instagram and YouTube, and he makes a ton of money.
And those are other things besides the trend of what people are wearing. It's the trend of like how people are spending money and how they consume media.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to have a little YouTube channel or live stream to show your day-to-day operations to keep people engaged.
Yeah.
Like we talked about earlier, Mike said he went to Flight Club and dropped a bag on some shoes because he was in Flight Club.
Yeah.
Like, if I go to, I keep mentioning them again, like I said, these are my people, but like Syndicate in LA, one, they got great pricing, but if I saw something there, I'm already there. I love their YouTube channel. I like the personalities that work in there. Yeah, I'm a copper from here because I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that and the other trend that people got to recognize is the black market, gray market of sneakers. Now, when I had all this bread and I was living in this like weird lifestyle, I'll go buy a $500 pair of Jordan 1s.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm figuring they might not even be real. And the replicas look just as good. Shit, I might as well get those.
Yeah.
They didn't combat that. Like, how can I trust that somebody, whether 2J's hired them, sneaker surgeon hired them, don't matter. How do I know? What you know about authenticating shoes?
I know
There's
nothing.
people who work in Beaverton, Oregon at the source that would get fooled. So what? There's no class. There's no QR code or blockchain, which they should be doing with that swoosh, to track the authenticity of this item. There's no white glove experience like you would get at a Louis Vuitton. There's no buyer for you. There's no UPC code that can't be replicated.